Bays, Rakim, John, Renee, 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 Bays.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is ASMR Color, and today I have two other ASMR artists here that are going to help me with this episode. So, my name is Rakim, and I'm from the multiverse. Who are y'all? I am. Wow. I was not ready for that question. That's a very great question.
Nice.
Come on, segue.
I was trying to think of something from Game of Thrones, but like I really, we already did that. Never mind. Girl, I don't know. I'm the Yaw Huntress as usual. That's all I got.
I'm John.
Yeah. Oh, that's very Renee of you.
Yeah, Renee's not here.
Renee.
So
The Renee jumped out. So anyway, welcome to Podcast of Color, where I was gonna do an accent, but then decided not to at the last minute. So
Wait, let me do it then.
Ooh.
And oh. Welcome to Podcast of Color, where 4 trash bags of color come together to make sense of the world. There's only 3 of us this week because Renee is off studying and doing his job and, working and doing all the things that students do. But hopefully he will be with us shortly. Yes. Wasn't that beautiful?
It was beautiful, yeah.
So
I don't
you know
where
what?
you were from, though. Where were you from?
I give it a 6.
I'm from every continent in Africa.
That's
And
so three-eyed raven.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Jasmine Masters so much.
Honestly, iconic.
Just like she's given us so much material, and she just has not gotten what she deserves.
Look at the material.
Drag Race?
She was
You
on
can be the judge of
All-Stars.
it.
Just look at the material. Yeah, and did she make it that far?
No.
Didn't she go home on
she was the first
episode?
one. Yeah.
Oh, damn. See, there's some people that I feel like would make great television personalities, like her. Like Jasmine Masters would make a great TV host.
Whoa.
And what?
A TV she host?
I mean, maybe this is a new job. And you know who else? MC Deborah. Have you guys heard of MC Deborah?
Who's that?
She's the one she's the the black trans woman. She's always making funny videos. She's like, all right, y'all, I had a lot of fun. No, have you guys not seen that video?
No.
And she's like, oh, I'm not saying that the girls aren't doing it, but the girls are not doing it.
That I know, yes. Okay. Now I know.
Please go on Twitter, YouTube, Google.
Isn't she?
MC
I was
Deborah.
waiting on you at the door.
No, that's a different person.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. That's not MC Deborah. 2 different black trans women, sis.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's those 2, I feel like they would make great TV. MC Deborah is always just coming up with shit on the fly, and she's hilarious. So, I believe we have a question of color this week, don't we?
You made it.
Okay, well, I didn't make it. I use a website.
Oh, you stole it?
I stole it.
Ooh.
I showed it.
I showed it. I don't give
And don't give a fuck. And don't.
And don't.
Do you think psychic abilities exist? 1. And 2, which one would you like to have? What is that?
My
Yeah, what's
ESPN.
Oh, okay.
ESPN.
Yes, come on, Karen.
Sports.
Yes. It's in the game. Oh, that's EA. Damn. Okay. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first since y'all just unprepared. You unprepared bottoms.
Who said
Unprepared
that?
bottoms.
I'm prepared to buy. That's not the question of color.
I was obsessed with Matilda growing up, so I really want to have telekinesis. I was also told to dabble. I was told by CoStar literally like last week.
dabble in telekinesis.
It told me. It literally did. It was like, you need to dabble in some telekinesis. CoStar just be saying anything.
It
honestly.
really do.
CoStar just be saying whatever the fuck comes to mind, and I'm okay with that.
CoStar would literally be like, "Wasn't your car dude, you broke bitch?" Like, and it's like,
right? No. It literally, like, no, I said this before. On the day of my job interview, it was like, you don't have to prove yourself to nobody today. And I was like,
yes, I do.
Yeah, okay. Like, I was like, you literally could have told me anything worse. You could not have said a worse thing to me.
I can literally just picture you being like, but
I really did. I really was. Then like yesterday, I've been reading my friend's book on my phone, and it was like, put your phone down and open a book. I was like, bitch, the book is on the phone.
Wait, CoStar told you to put
CoStar told me to put my phone down and open a book.
Ooh.
Wow.
I was like, bitch.
Okay.
I don't know about CoStar. Somebody tell me about another app that I need to be using, because CoStar just
Jesus?
isn't anything. I mean, yes, that's always applicable.
Try that app. Ooh, fuck
The app.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting over CoStar.
Yeah, you know what? It was cute at first because a lot of it did seem correct, but then it's like, oh, your power is in sex. And I'm just like, bitch, no, it's not. I can tell you that. Your power is in your career. You're making a lot of money moves. I'm like, bitch, where?
I would like to see it.
I would like to see it.
I would like to see it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's I telekinesis. I'm all about telekinesis. Do I believe it exists? I don't know about telekinesis. I feel like if it existed, we would have weaponized it as a country. I feel like the U.S. military would have weaponized it already. So
that's tea, actually.
No, I don't believe it exists.
Dang. Okay. So it has to be like psychic abilities, right? Okay, since you want to be Jean Grey, I'll do I was going to say mind reading, but honestly that's a curse, because mind reading means you just know what they say, but they didn't actually say it out loud. So if you like beat their ass or something, then you trap. So that's a trap. So I'm going to say like, oh, you know what? Like Violet from The Incredibles.
Oh.
With the force fields and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Invisible Woman, because like that seems useful. Like imagine like you going to, I don't know. Oh, I was going to say rob a bank. Father God.
I mean, you may want to.
rob.
If you have that ability.
Do. So let's just say you go rob a bank and you have this force field up. I mean, like, you think a bullet's going to enter a force field? I think not. Like, what they going to do about it?
I think the fuck not, you trick ass bitch.
Like, if I just put myself in a force field, what you going to do?
See, that's where I'm like thinking maybe I shouldn't have telekinesis, because I do want to move back to LA at some point, and if y'all know I have road rage. So I'm just gonna be throwing cars off the freeway.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, like what's her name from Coven? She like threw that bus over and like killed all those kids.
Oh, Madison, is that?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do no bus. I would try to make sure that there were no children in the car. But the adults
try.
Anybody could get it. Honestly, at this point, it doesn't take much for me to get mad when I'm on the freeway too. So I don't know. I don't think that it would be a good idea for me to have that. And as well as New York, like if I'm on the train and it's delayed, I'm speeding that shit up. Like if we crash, we crash.
I saw this meme that was like, California drivers are like, either you let me merge or we both die.
I mean, if we die, we die, but bitch, I'm coming.
And I'm like, yeah, that's very accurate.
Listen, if I turn my blinker on, I'm not asking for permission. I'm letting you know that I'm coming over.
You're supposed to drive defensively.
Whatever. There's no question in that. Okay, just know that I will be in that lane, so you can slow down, you can speed up, but you need to get out of my motherfucking way.
This is why I don't even like to drive the freeway anymore, because the driver's like, y'all, which you do
John. Okay, John is like crazy though.
What?
I'm aware.
No, John is crazy. John be like, I'm like, bitch, damn. I be holding onto my seat. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster when I'm in the car with John.
What's that? You know that like handle at the top right, like at the on top of the windows that you be.
Yes, bitch, I be holding on for life. For life.
We got places to be, you know?
But you know what? Honestly, the more I think about it, it's just because I haven't driven in a while. But honestly, John, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm actually worse. Because actually, even Mark will tell you, like, I'm also a jerky driver because I'm like zooming in and out in between people. But I think I just get scared when I'm in the car with you because I'm not in control. So I'm just like, my life is in your hands.
And John is like, either we're both going to die or you're going to let me merge. So,
but John is a good driver. I will give him that. Like, John drives fast, but John is a good driver.
Like,
thank you.
No, you are. You're a good driver. I don't think have I ever ridden in a car with you, Rakeem? Yes, I have. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you don't have complaints because it was...
No, you drive like very like smoothly. Like you're very like calm. Like you just go with the flow of traffic.
Yeah, you don't remember it because it was uneventful because I'm a good driver.
Okay, John, what's your psychic ability?
Okay, one, I do believe in some of them. I don't believe in all of them.
Okay.
I think aura reading is real. I think energy medicine, I guess, in a way that's like Reiki, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
oh my god, can you imagine like Jasmine Masters doing like Reiki when she's like pulling like and throw that away and we're gonna grab the negative and
what's the one where you could like talk to dead spirits? It's like
a medium.
Oh yeah. I think that's kind of real too, and it like is too freaky for me. I mean, no offense if you're into that.
If you're a medium, I don't mean to offend the medium community.
I mean, really, I just like I can't handle it. Freaky's not the right word. Excuse me. It's too real. I freak out personally. I freak out. And if I could choose one, I'm going down the list, and I just discovered something called psychic surgery. So,
okay,
ability to remove diseases or disorders or bodily tissues via energetic incisions. That would be fun.
Why do I feel like the part you care about is the bodily injection part? Because you perked up when you said that. You're like, the ability to remove diseases, bodily injections, and all this stuff.
I mean, it's important. I'm in the medical field. I just want to heal people without, who don't have health insurance.
Right? Bitch, the government would kill you, girl.
They would.
You saw what they did to Dr. Seba, whatever that man's name is that everyone was saying. I'm just kidding. That? I don't believe that. The guy that they said that, like, Nipsey Hussle was doing a documentary on because he cured AIDS with, like, some juice or something. I don't know.
Juice.
What a mess. Okay.
I don't know. Like, it was something like, he found the secret to curing AIDS and cancer or something, and so the government killed him because it was dumb.
I honestly, this is stuff that like straight people really think the government be doing.
Oh my god, straight black people be like wilding out. I'm just like, sister.
They don't care about Nipsey Hussle sister trying to kill the faggots. They don't care.
Sister, brother and sister. I need y'all to relax. Like, straight black people love a conspiracy theory. And I guess it's because our history, like, is one big conspiracy theory. But, like,
hello, it's just darkness, like, my old friend.
But it's like, it just cracks me up. Like, my cousin's half-sister was obsessed with, like, the Illuminati. And she would, like, just watch YouTube videos all day about how, like, Beyonce and Jay-Z
all
these celebrities. She was like, oh, did you see when they did this with their hand? And then they did that secretly. And then the eye of, I don't know.
It got to a point with my family where on Thanksgiving and stuff like that, they would start talking about it. And I just walk out the room. Because I was...
You had to.
Like, it's just like, Are you fucking like they
are you dumb?
Are you dumb? They
Are you
love
dumb.
Well, I mean, she did some really dumb stuff, but anyway.
Yeah.
Whew.
Okay. Well,
Anyway.
I think that's gonna cover our very informative intro. We'll be back with the minutes.
Did you hear me psychically talking to y'all saying that we'll be right back?
I did not.
Oh.
I didn't know.
Someone did.
Step-
One of the listeners did.
They felt it.
Step your sissy game up, like psychic pussy.
No, bye.
No.
Okay, bye.
Welcome back. We're here with the Minutes of the Calais. And the topics. Well, first of all, R.I.P. to John Singleton, who directed Boys in the Hood. He directed Poetic Justice. I think he directed Boys in the Hood at like 23 years old, which is like crazy to me. Like I just can't like conceive of having that much responsibility at the age of 23.
Honestly,
but
23 was a mess. So
yeah,
RIP.
he was only what, 51?
And he died from like high blood, like a something
Hypertension?
from high blood pressure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
like
he had a
it's-
stroke initially.
Yeah,
yes,
which was,
from
yeah,
high blood. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was 54. So it's just like it's just crazy.
Do
that
either
he
of you
died
watch
so young.
Snowfall?
What was that?
Oh, it's a show that he directs.
Oh.
Oh.
He's also, oh my God, he was married to a black woman? Whew. I'm sorry, that was just a little shocking to me. I'm just still like, I'm sorry, I know that like that's not a huge thing, but it's just like, it's also surprising to me when I see like famous black people married to other black people. I'm like, oh, okay. He directed Too Fast, Too Furious, Baby Boy, Higher Learning. Just a lot of black classics.
Baby Boy was my porn before porn.
Oh yeah, I used to think what's his name was sexy as fuck, and that scene where he was, woo, yeah,
Tyrese, you're talking about?
yeah. I used to think Tyrese was fine.
Yes, no, and the dad too. I thought.
Oh yeah, that daddy, oof,
Ooh.
Bing Rames, yes,
a
I wanted him to
man.
break me down.
Oh, I just had to Google who the dad was, and yes.
Ving Rhames, yes. He also did Badass, which is Mario Van Peebles. Look up young Mario Van Peebles. That man was fine.
Mario who?
Van Peebles.
How do-
Van, and then Peebles, Peebles. Look him up. That man
Oops,
was
spelled
a
that wrong.
snack.
You
That man
said
was a meal.
young.
Mario Van Peebles, yeah, he was fine. And he wasn't just like, I'm light-skinned fine. Like, he just was genuinely fine. Oh my God, did he really? No, he didn't. He directed Abduction.
Oh.
From 2011, starring what's the boy from
Oh, hello.
Twilight?
The
What's the
boy
boy
from
from Twilight?
Robert Pattinson?
No, the other one, the darker one.
Oh, his name is Jacob in the damn show.
Yeah,
Taylor Lautner.
the wolf.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah,
Wow,
the wolf.
I don't remember him. He
The
had like
she-
his whole moment. He was like supposed to be like the next big heartthrob.
And then he dated Taylor Swift.
Let's not blame women for the failings of men's careers.
I'm not. I'm blaming Taylor Swift.
Okay. Anyway, moving right along. Mayor Pete. Should we? Do I want to talk about Pete Buttigieg?
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Booty meat.
Booty meat.
Do you guys remember, like, in like elementary school, people would try to speak pig Latin?
Yeah.
Like, idigi, gudigu,
Yeah.
That's what it
Ooh,
sounds
Can
like.
again, Udigu, Tadagak, Ladagate, Tadagat, Jadagon?
Buttigieg?
Buttigieg. You're stupid. No, I mean, so we talked about this in last week's episode, which did not make it, but
The last episode is
the lost episode, podcast of color, the lost
episode.
Yeah, so we kind of touched on. I kind of touched on it the other week when Renee and I were having a conversation around him. He said that he doesn't believe that prisoners should have the right to vote. I think that's bullshit. For a couple reasons. One, a lot of people. I mean, this is actually the reason is that a lot of people are in jail wrongly, right? And so some of them are non-violent offenders who are in there for drug drug charges. But some of the people who are in there for violent crimes, I referenced last week. I forgot that woman's name. Right around the time that, what's that? I'm sorry, I'm like blanking right now. Right in Trayvon Martin, when Trayvon Martin was shot. What?
Nothing.
No, I was trying to think of the guy who shot him, but I can't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
no. I was trying to think of the name of the guy who shot him, but I can't. Zimmerman, George Zimmerman. There we go. Okay.
And,
right around the time that George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin, there was a woman who was arrested, who shot in the air because her abusive husband was attacking her. She didn't shoot him. She shot in the air, and she was put in jail for it. Like, she was found guilty.
That's
and
crazy.
put in jail for that. Whereas George Zimmerman actually shot a person and killed them and was let off. And this is both in Florida. And so you have situations like this where there's just a racial disparity in terms of like who's getting arrested for what.
Right.
You know, black and brown people are obviously more likely to go to jail for committing the same crimes as white people. And so in a world that's so unequal like that, like, it's hard for me to feel okay with the idea of stripping prisoners of their voting rights. You even had it with Centoya Brown, who shot a John. She was being trafficked, and she shot a man who was attempting to rape her and killed him at 16 years old. And she stayed and was in jail until she was 32. So you have people in jail technically for violent crimes, but the reasoning behind those violent crimes is not really, for me, it's not there for them to be stripped of their voting rights. Right. I don't really trust the justice system. And I don't think it's right to strip them of their voting rights. And I don't believe, I can't support someone who continuously shows me that they're not really here for people that don't look like them. Everything out of Pete Buttigieg, whatever his name's mouth, shows me that he's really just here to be the gay version of what we've already been getting. Obama was the black version of what we were already getting, and it was nice and shiny and new at the time. But I need a little bit more than identity politics. You know, y'all so tired of identity politics. I need a little bit more than that. I need a little bit more than I'm gay or I'm black or I'm a woman. Like, I need, like, here are my policies. Here's what I'm going to do to change. I need something like what we're getting from Elizabeth Warren. You know. And
that's tea. How about some policy? How about some identity policy? How about that?
Yeah, facts. Yes. Yes.
Not identity policy. Like, how about that? Give us some identity policy. I would like that. Elizabeth Warren is the only girl doing it.
Yes. I'm not saying that the girls are not doing it, but girls are not doing it. Okay, and then you have, you know, people touting, now, I'm just blanking. Joe Biden. There we go. Joe Biden. There we go, girl.
Don't throw my name into this.
No,
I mean, aren't you qualified to run for president, John?
No,
we all do.
35. You have to be 35.
Oh,
he's not old enough.
That was the joke.
Oh,
okay.
I mean,
that he was old.
No, yeah, but it's in bad taste.
Ooh, stop being ageist, girl.
I know. I'm dragging myself. I'm right behind you. I'm almost there.
So yeah, Joe Biden announced his candidacy last week or the week before. He's someone else that I think is really like just a boring choice, and I'm not excited about it at all. He's also polling ahead of I believe it's him, then Bernie Sanders, then Pete Buttigieg, which is crazy to me because the only person who actually has a plan is Elizabeth Warren. Like, the only one who's like actually saying like what it is they're going to do and how they're going to do it is Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah. Joe Biden also apologized to this is not my day with names. Jesus Christ. Anita Hill. The week before he announced. Anita Hill, if you guys don't remember, was involved in a case against not a case, but when I'm not doing well with names today. What's the guy that became a member of the Supreme Court during the 90s? I want to say Herman Cain, but that's a different black
Clarence
person.
Thomas?
Clarence Thomas, yes. When Clarence Thomas was up to become a member of the Supreme Court, he was accused by Anita Hill of sexual harassment at work. So initially, she didn't even want to do it. She didn't want to testify against him. But just like the situation that we recently had with y'all, please help me out.
I don't know politics right now.
You're talking about
the Supreme Court starts with a K.
Yes, Christine Ford,
No.
is that her name?
Christine Ford, but like who was the guy, the Supreme Court guy?
Kavanaugh.
There we go. Woo. Yes, just like in this situation, they went and they found her and they convinced her to testify against him in court. Now, Joe Biden presided over the testimony, and he basically allowed her to be thrown to the wolves. He allowed the Republicans too much power in the proceedings, and he also prevented another woman who was harassed by him, and another woman who witnessed that other woman being harassed by him wanted to testify, and he prevented them from testifying, and he only allowed their testimonies to be read after the fact. And so Joe Biden it wasn't just like Joe Biden was a passive member in all this. Like, this man actively was a part of her humiliation and the destruction of her character publicly. So for me, I can't get behind that. I can't get behind him apologizing. I can't get behind him going on The View and talking about how he's sorry for how she was treated. Don't apologize for something that you didn't do.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to bring up the View comment, because Joy Behar literally fed him the line, was I think she said something she goes, I think what she wants to hear is, I'm sorry for the way I treated you, and you've been saying I'm sorry for the way that you were treated. And then he goes, yeah, but I am sorry for the way she was treated.
Oh.
And then he says that he doesn't think he did anything specifically to her, but it's you went to Clarence Thomas and his wife and said that you didn't believe them. You didn't believe her. He also couched her testimony in between his testimony. So he gave Clarence Thomas the option of testifying before and after her.
Yeah. So
he got to do that. He got to say his piece before and after she spoke. What? Where they do that at? You really set it up. And then on top of all of that, beyond all that, his war on crime in the 80s, his authoring one of the bills that made it so that you needed to have, I think, 100 times more cocaine than crack to get the same sentence. Thereby criminalizing people who are using crack. And we all know that white people were using cocaine more than they were using crack. And we all know that crack was introduced, as the government acknowledged, into black communities in the 60s and 70s.
No, I mean, there's no lie. So
it's just you want to be tough on you wanted to be tough on crime. You wanted to criminalize black people, and they I think they ratified it or whatever. But it's still you still need to have more cocaine even today than crack to get the same amount of time in jail.
Are we surprised?
So no. I don't want you to be president. For what? And he's going to Wall Street and telling them that he doesn't think that they're behind anything. He doesn't think millionaires and billionaires are at fault for anything in this country right now. He doesn't think they're the bad guy. Why do you need to reassure them when they're not the ones being fucking priced out of neighborhoods? They're not the ones unable to feed their kids. They're not the ones that can't afford healthcare, decent healthcare.
At this point, if these center left people, they're useless, truly. So I just don't want any of them running. I just don't see how you could see the last election and think that an old white guy is what that's supposed to be oh yeah, we're gonna try to bring people together is what no one cares. I honestly feel like Joe Biden is in the lead because the polling is older people. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's a generational thing, I feel like. Because no young person I know is excited about Joe Biden. Not one.
I don't know a single person who's like, ooh, Joe Biden. And it's also already feeling to me like Hillary, like 2019. Like, that's what it feels like, because there's already people saying, oh, well, he's better than Trump. And I'm just like, but sis, we still have options. Like, we're not even out. The primaries haven't even happened yet. Like, can we decide from the Democrats who's the best?
Right, like we haven't even had a debate yet, and I feel like when that happens, that's when you're gonna get. That's why I'm not too worried about Warren, because she can. I think her and Kamala are going to like demolish in the debates. Yeah, and that's what's going to happen.
Oh, I know Kamala is like,
she's ready.
I know she. You know what? I know she's happy because her record with like criminalizing black and brown people is not too nice either. But Joe Biden's is significantly worse. So I feel like she's like, whew. Woo!
That SpongeBob meme where he's like on the
like yes.
But did you see her questioning what's his name? William Barr?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. When he it was the Senate Judiciary Committee was having a hearing with William Barr, because he was, the Attorney General with the whole Mueller report or whatever, and like demolished him in 8 minutes. Like she literally got him to admit that he went on national television and released this summary to the American people saying that, oh, like the Mueller report vindicates Trump. But then she was like, but did you even read all the evidence? You should department read all the evidence. And he's like, no. So she's like, you went out and said that it vindicates him, but you didn't actually go to like check the underlying evidence. And she goes, did anyone in your department do this? And he goes, no. And she goes, oh, okay. And I think that's when she like ended her questioning or something like that. But then she immediately afterwards called for him to resign.
As she should. Because they completely mischaracterized. In his letter, he completely mischaracterized what Mueller even said in his report. Granted, I low-key don't care that much just because Mueller still decided not to press charges against him. So it's in the end, it almost doesn't matter really. But it also it matters. The truth matters, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Mueller's actually going to have to go to Congress now too, actually.
Yeah, I want to know. I want him under the fire. Like, why did you spend these past 2 years doing this investigation? We all know he obstructed justice. We all know this. He should be in jail. He should be arrested.
Honestly, everyone should be in jail.
Like, he's done shit illegal on camera for everybody to see. So I'm just like, there's no reason they shouldn't be pursuing charges against this man. But, whatever.
White. Sounds about white.
God, we're so much to talk about. We got Game of Thrones. We got Taylor Swift. Let's talk Taylor Swift. Let's talk it
quickly.
Mayocella
was trending on Twitter. She, what just sends me? Like, what just truly cracked me right the fuck up?
Oh no!
It was when she so she does her little wobbly strut that I guess she
Wait, this is for the Billboard Awards? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is for the Billboard Awards. She does her wobbly strut and then that little jerk movement that she does at the end. It's like every white woman who's feeling her sassy inner black woman.
Yes, Susan.
It's like, yes.
Yes,
Susan. No, I'm doing it. I'm killing it. Slay, hunty. Yes.
I'm twerking.
Yes. Oh my God. Slay the house down, girl.
Oh my God. Slay the tea.
Slay the tea. What
Gwalt.
is it? Gwalt.
Yes, Gwalt.
Yes, Gwalt.
Yes. With a capital T.
Guys. Oh my God. I'm shooken.
Shooken.
I'm shooken.
I'm shooketh.
I'm shooketh. Yes.
Oh my God, Chile. I know she was like, woo, Chile. I just slayed the house down, hunty.
Yes.
No, but she was filling her oats. That little jerk at the end just took me out. It was just too much. it's just like when Beyonce does it, like Beyonce is giving you a lot. She does her little stomp. She does her little pose at the end. And you know who else was able to master that?
Beyonce?
Normani. No, Normani.
Oh.
Normani has no. Normani has like killed that like the little strut and that little pose.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's the way
Taylor
that they hold
doesn't
their
have
hand.
it. Yeah, but they're black women, and that's why it's a natural thing. Taylor Swift was just doing way too much, and I couldn't watch any more than that. That's literally when I turned it off. I don't know what the performance looked like. I saw the drummers. I was like, this is nice. Thanks.
The drummers looked so offbeat. Like,
They were offbeat. They weren't dancing on beat or anything.
Well, because they were old white men.
Right?
She literally got people from the Republican Party and were like, y'all want to be on the Taylor Swift performance? like,
I mean,
you could tell by the hand placement that she's not, because bad bitches do the thing where when they put their hand on their hip, they do it so that like their thumb is kind of covering like their like bottom right stomach area, and then the other four fingers are kind of like back on their lower back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. But if you are a Taylor Swift like bitch, you do the thing where you put your four fingers in the front and then your thumb in the back. And that's exactly what she did. And I said, ha!
Do you think she was trying to copy like the like dunna 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 dunna, like, because it was that walk was so wobbly, and it was like, Beyonce did the shimmy, but she did it perfectly on beat. Like that was just her thing. Taylor like did that wobbly ass walk, that wobbly ass strut. I'm like, girl, you're too tall for this. You're model-esque. You should be able to at least have a decent walk down.
Should. Beyonce said it in Homecoming. People don't like to rehearse.
Yeah,
people don't like
that
to
much was
rehearse.
clear.
Because it makes you look awkward, and it humbles you, and people don't like to rehearse. So,
but the gag is that performance humbled her.
Did it?
In my eyes, anyway.
Like,
that was atrocious. I don't even know what the performance looked like. The walk out.
The song is atrocious.
That song is horrible.
That song sounds like, it was just like, how everyone hated Justin Timberlake's song for the Troll movie?
Yeah.
She was like, hold my beer. Because it's like, it to me just sounds like, oh, okay, she wants to be on like she wants to be on like the Brave 2 soundtrack or Moana 2, or actually Moana, sweetie, I'm so sorry. Like, it sounds like she wants to be on something, some kind of kids movie, and it's not it. It like, it's
I don't know
corny.
who it's for. I don't know who it's for. I'm like, girl, your fans are aging up, sis. They're not 12 anymore.
Like, she's devolving.
Have you guys seen the reactions from like Swiftie, or what do they call the Taylor Swift fans? Swifties?
No, I think you got it.
Demons, White Walkers,
T.
They're like, well, it's not like Beyonce invented marching
Hydra
bands or whatever, or like all these different reactions, like trying to defend Taylor Swift. And yeah, Beyonce did not invent marching bands, but it's just
she perfected it.
Yeah, right.
Also,
right?
she did invent marching bands, bitch.
But also, she did it recent. Like this
that's the
just
thing.
Came out.
Just like it just came out, and like you have had to known that this was going to happen. Like your PR team did a shitty job about setting you up for failure, because you like what someone would have had to know that she had like Beyonce had released it, and that you knew ahead of time too, right? Like all this advertising, and you watch it, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do the same thing a couple weeks later. It's not a good look.
She's also kind of a troll. She's been kind of a troll since her last album came out. Like ever since, like at first, like she tried to play the victim, and now that thing is over, like after Kanye and Kim ruined that, she's now, I feel, trying to troll people. Like ever since that album, Look What You Made Me Do. Is that the name of the album? No, Reputation, sorry. Ever since that came out, she's been trolling us, I feel like. And I feel like this was definitely like an intentional, like, I know they're going to be mad that I did this.
I wonder if she's doing it because she just knows niggas don't like rock with her anymore. So she's just like full on into like white, because it's just like the song itself. It just, I don't know. Honestly, it kind of felt like a Tasha Call song. But anyway, that's.
Well, that is her friend.
Yeah.
Maybe he wrote it. Maybe he produced it.
Oh,
I'm sure she wrote it herself. But it's just, I just feel like Ooh, Chile, the
you're right.
regression.
She likes to write her own stuff.
Like, I mean, the thing is, 1989 slapped. I'm not going to lie. And like,
No, it did.
It did.
Honestly, Reputation was pretty good too.
Reputation had a few good songs on it, and I remember we said it on here. We were like, okay, this kind of. And I remember we like did the whole preview with the Reputation album cover, and then like you go from like Blank Space and Style and like Aryan Bops, like we said before, to this.
I forgot.
Like
it does feel like Kids Bop. Like it felt
Aryan
like a Disney
Bops
Channel
to
song.
Aryan Flops.
It does.
It sounds like a Disney Channel song. Like,
oh my god, your favorite Aryan Bops of the 90s.
Like it sounds like something Selena Gomez would have sang in like 2008.
Featuring the hit record, You're Gonna Get Touched in TSA. Oh god. What would another Aryan 90s bop be? Or an Aryan bop be? Okay, let's stop.
Yeah.
Or should we?
I think we should. I think we should move forward. No, I just wasn't about it. I didn't really understand it. I don't know what she's trying to do with this era. I do think it's funny though that what's her enemy's name that like flopped? Katy Perry's career has taken a turn upwards. Her stock has gone up since she started wearing wigs. So it's really been her hair that's been keeping her back this whole time. Her fans were like, no. Enough with this chicken head shit.
She does look like a...
She does look like a chicken with her haircut like that.
Oh, shit.
But she got her wig on. She did. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this affects her career.
I was dying when that photo she posted of her with the long hair was like her most like photo ever.
They want her back the way she was.
Everyone was literally like, "Girl, you were fine, but then you chopped your hair off." Remember when she was doing like those live, like she like live streamed her life for like a week when Witness.
Oh, girl, that was too much for me. I couldn't do it.
And she was doing like therapy, and we were like,
Maybe she's healed and she's back to slay the charts again. I don't know. I mean, I don't put anything past anybody because I thought Gaga was over.
But she hasn't really like come back yet, though.
Gaga? No, not as a singer, but I mean, you'd be hard pressed to not find her name in the headlines.
She's busy performing in Vegas, you guys.
Yeah, she's like making crazy money in Vegas.
Making money.
Did you see that conspiracy about Britney Spears?
No, there's so many.
Oh, well, there was a conspiracy because she checked herself into a mental hospital
right.
because her dad is going through it. And there was like this whole rumor that her family is keeping her locked up because she didn't look too great in the paparazzi pictures of her coming out of the facility. I think they like let her out or something for like a holiday or something. Was there a recent holiday? I feel like there was. Anyway, they let her out for the day, and pictures circulated, and people started saying that her family was keeping her locked away, that she wanted to be free, and they like are hiding her. And then she posted on social media that she's fine, and it's actually harmful to her family that you guys are spreading this rumor. I think I talked about it maybe briefly on here, but I don't remember. On to other news.
Maybe it's in our lost episode.
It could. No, I don't think so. It was like more than 2 weeks ago at least. Instagram, is she dying? We don't know.
She's peaked already.
I feel like Instagram has peaked, but the story of the week is that they're hiding likes on Instagram. They're testing it out next week. Oh no, this week in Canada, according to the Washington Post. The article is called "Here's Why Instagram is Going to Hide Your Likes." Basically, they're tired of people feeling pressure to compete and like reach a certain number of likes, so they're hiding them.
But whose fault is that, though?
I don't think that it's a good business move because I think they're gonna bleed users. I think the people use Instagram because they want it for that reason.
Right.
Does it is this a good thing? I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing for a lot of businesses. I think it's gonna kind of suck for a lot of businesses. But I'm also kind of like
suck for.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's gonna suck for all the like influencers and like.
That's why I'm like kind of interested. That's why I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. because I'm just like, no, like not to be like a hater, but I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna be very interesting to see like what people do when this one thing is not important anymore. Because eventually Instagram, like every other app, will fall into the ether. Though Tumblr might be making a comeback because apparently Pornhub is trying to buy them.
No, they can still choke.
Wait, what?
They can still choke. I'm not going back to Tumblr. They ruined it.
No, but if they're owned by different people, it's going to be different people in charge.
Yeah, but my account's deleted. So.
Oh, my account's not deleted. I just deleted the app off my phone, so I still have it.
No, it's gone. Like, I got rid of it. Well, because, like, all of my work got flagged. Like,
oh,
like,
that's real. Well, girl,
like,
Pornhub, if Pornhub owns it,
it's not like they're going to bring the content back. Like, it's deleted.
You can.
Like, you can.
I don't know if so. Like the way that what ended up happening was that like if you had things that were considered like not safe for work, like it deleted the picture, like you couldn't view it anymore. So it was like it just didn't exist anymore. So I was like, you know what? Let's just delete all this because it was stupid. So I guess, but Tumblr had their chance. It's gone. You're not gonna get your people back, and it whatever. I guess. I'm just mad.
No, that's real. That was your actual work, so it wasn't like you were just posting thirst traps and they're gone.
Those are gone too, but honestly, thank God.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with like, because remember that one day that Instagram like
went down,
and like everyone was freaking it. They were like, oh my God.
I know what's going to happen. They're going to flee to Twitter.
That's what happened when Tumblr went down. Everyone fleed to Twitter, and it was just like, ugh. I feel like we're those people that's like the people that come at the gym that complain at like New Year's when all of like the people come in. Like,
yeah.
And it's more like we should be happy about that. But this, I don't want to stay off of Twitter. I like it how it is now.
Well, I feel like Twitter is also like turning too, because I feel like Twitter used to be more like, here's what I'm saying, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like just from when I first started, that was what I was seeing because that was who I was following. But now it's become more like, here's what I look like. Granted, I participated in that too, so I can't like judge it too hard. But like, you know, I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting, and I think it might change the way that people are using Twitter a lot. Of course, also maybe Tumblr will like pop up and become the new Supreme. Who knows? All I know is that I think Instagram is also becoming less enjoyable because of the algorithm. So it's like not even like on one hand, yes, it's like the amount of likes that I get because of the algorithm change, but it's also like I can't even like enjoy like what I'm looking at because it's like weird. Right. I'm also getting ads. I'm not sure if I'm seeing people I'm following or ads. Sometimes I see. I think there was even a point where I saw like stuff that people liked on my thing, like people that people liked or suggestions or something like that. Like suggested followers,
you can.
And I was just like,
you can go to the like section and like see what your friends.
No.
Liking.
I mean, I think it was on the main page or something. I might have misremembered that, but I feel like I remember that happening to me once or twice. And it's just like I don't really necessarily. I mostly use the story feature. I almost don't even go on people's pages anymore. Like I just look at if they don't post a story, I never see what people post.
Oh wow, that's so interesting. I'm kind of the opposite.
You don't watch stories. You just go on people's pages.
No, I watch stories, but like I rather see like what, because you know what people decide to put on their grid is different than what they decide to put in their story.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out, and like I wonder if this is gonna like change our explore pages. You know, if your likes are hidden, I wonder if that's gonna change the algorithm of what shows up on. You know what I mean? Like, because your explore page is based on what other people are liking too, or the people that you follow like.
I feel like that might not change because it's just going to be about what people like, right? So like, it's not going to necessarily be about like the popularity of it. It's just going to be about what. I mean, I guess it'll change in the sense that it won't be all these super popular influencers.
I just I want someone to give an official statement about what this algorithm is, because like this is supposed to be social networking, right? And the people that I really want to see, I'm not seeing. And the people I'm like sort of acquaintances with or whatever, that's who I'm seeing. And I'm like, why am I seeing this? I have to like literally either like turn on the alert if my friends post something, which is kind of annoying, or like actually look them up to see if they had posted something recently. Yeah. Like that defeats the whole purpose of why I wanted this in the first place, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think that this spells the end of Instagram if they take the lights off?
Like I said, I think they're peaking. This is the peak, and it's whatever happens, it's probably going downhill from here. I don't know if it's going to be a steep downhill or a slow decline, but it's kind of already going down, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's been around for like almost it might even be 10 years already. And that's sort of a long time for an app to last.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going anywhere, but I do think the way that it's going to be used is going to be a lot more interesting. But I mean, for me though, I kind of like it because it works good for me because it's a bit more concentrated. Like, so like for me, since I started doing a lot of paintings and stuff like that and not just like photographs and posting on stuff like that, like I get less engagement, but like way more direct, like engagement that actually kind of like benefits or like, you know, is beneficial to me. So I kind of like it because I feel like the people that need to be seeing it are seeing it in terms of that. But Baze, I'm more excited of like what you were saying, just to kind of see how like the Insta-gay population will react to it. I think that will be really funny. And with the no like thing, because it's like they're like, how do I know that this is working? Like, but also doesn't that then just like shit on them and their advertising, like, and people doing like flat tummy tea and all that stuff? Because don't you like need likes in order to see that that stuff is working?
Yeah.
So isn't that like shooting themselves in the foot? I'm a little confused by that.
That's why I'm like saying I don't think this is a smart business move.
It's a smart petty move.
I don't even think it's a pet. I mean, if what they're saying is true, they're saying they're doing this so that people don't feel pressured. So that is actually a good thing. I think social media is actually, as good as it is for you, it's also really bad for you in a lot of ways. And I think that I think it has a huge negative impact. And I think this is actually a good thing in that regard. But just like from a money-making standpoint, I don't feel like people are going to want to use it. Because I also already feel like even a lot of like the influencers that I'm seeing on Instagram now don't even seem to care as much about the quality of their pictures. They're kind of just like posting whatever. Like I just see like, I just noticed, I just feel like there's been a general like less, like people seem less serious about Instagram lately. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like when I first started it, everyone was like, this, I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people are like, well, this has to be meticulous. This needs to be perfectly edited, and this needs to be this. And now I'm like seeing like people who usually post like really edited pictures, like just posting like grainy, you know, pictures on the street, you know?
Yeah.
So like I think like I feel like people are taking it a lot less seriously than they were before, and I think that that's just like a general decline anyway. But I think this is definitely going to aid in its decline.
Do you think that this is going to like hiding likes is going to? I know that social media has, or Instagram specifically, has had a huge negative impact. But what do you think about like community resources and things that are like on Instagram? Like community network, you think that the hiding the likes is going to affect it in a negative way? Because I feel like a lot of Instagram, a lot of people have made really good connections, you know, like actual social networking when it comes to like people who are like who need to connect with the queer community specifically or whatever. Like, do you think hiding the likes is gonna affect this in a negative way?
I think in the sense that there's going to be fewer people using it regularly, probably.
Oh.
I think really what's happening is this is becoming more Facebook-like, and that makes sense because Facebook owns it.
Well,
so I think, it's definitely going to negatively impact that. Like, I know, like, there's probably, like, queer people that I'm not connecting with on Facebook because I don't use Facebook anymore because I don't like it. So I think that's definitely, like, a side effect of that. But I don't know. All I know is this is going to be good. This is whatever it is, it's not going to be boring.
Yeah. I'm just going to eat my popcorn and watch what happens.
Facts. I'm going to eat my popcorn and just watch and see how the girls scramble. You know what? Also, this was my friend messaged me and was like, this is going to be interesting for the OnlyFans girls because a lot of their stuff depends on it. But I was like, I feel like they're going to be okay because they're depend on money, right? All they got to do is just like leak a post. And also a lot of the OnlyFans girls are on Twitter because you can actually post porn there or post like clips or previews or whatever of their scenes and stuff.
Ooh, Twitter.
Yeah. It's funny. Have you got? I know you're not on, John, but Rakeem, have you been seeing a lot of the girls have been posting their pay stubs?
For what?
Shut up.
Yeah, this one guy was like, "People,
Who do you follow?"
I don't follow them. I don't follow this person. It's this one like light skinned boy that like everybody's obsessed with, and I think he posted like posted in like a meme form. He was like, "People, why do you do OnlyFans? Me." And then there was like a picture of his pay stub, and it was like $5,000 a month.
Dang.
I was like, bitch.
Is that tax deductible? Like, do they?
That's also why I was like, girl, I hope the IRS ain't watching.
Like, you're an idiot. Like, there's literally, isn't there like a law in place, right? Okay, let me not give false information, but I feel like we've talked about something about OnlyFans, like having like just becoming taxed or something like that or whatever. Y'all, okay, you're snitching on yourself. Also,
maybe they're paying their tax. Maybe they're taxing it. Maybe they're paying their taxes on it.
If they aren't, I hope y'all do keep them pay stubs because the way that they do audits is they actually go into your bank account and they look at how much money you've been depositing. And so they go, oh, so you reported this much, but you actually deposited this much in your bank account. So what's T? So I hope you do keep them pay stubs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So.
Wow.
Or if you do keep your OnlyFans money, have it go to like a burner account or something.
That's what I'm saying. Also, I just would not have people in my business like that. But I also kind of get it. Like if I was doing something, and I mean, and we talked about this last week during the deleted episode, that the question was, would we do porn? And I said that I wouldn't mind doing it. And like just doing porn, but it's the blowback from society and like that I wouldn't be able to handle, and I wouldn't want to do porn enough to deal with that. And I feel like you definitely, like, a lot of people are really jealous of you. You're like conventionally attractive. You're making all this money by being conventionally attractive and jacking off and on camera.
Which
and
is so boring, but okay.
It is, but it's like but there's a market for it clearly because people want to see it and they're paying for it.
No, I know. I'm just shook that like jerk off videos are just so boring. Oh, sorry. Anyway,
but but people are paying for it, and so a lot of people are upset and mad about that. A lot of people are jealous of the fact that these guys get to make money off of being cute. And so I get that. Like, you get all this negativity from people, and you're just like, well, you know what, bitch? This is why I'm doing it, because I'm getting paid. I'm paid, honey. I get that.
I get that too, but I also think that there's something in that, because I think a lot of people that are upset about that, though, are upset for a few reasons. I think that there's a group of people that definitely, like, there's a group of people that definitely like are just bitter and like jealous, and then I think there's a group of people that are like upset, not because that they're making money and doing that, but because of the way those people act. Like, because I think there's a lot of people, for like, listen, like if we're gonna use like Billy Santoro for example, right? Like he probably makes however much money doing his OnlyFans and all that stuff, yet he's like a wretched person, and people still kind of like are like, pick me and stuff like that. And I think that's part of like why people get upset too. Not saying that that's like right or them being, slut shaming and all that stuff is correct. But I think that there are some behaviors that like sometimes the girls do bring it, like if you're posting a paid stub, but then you're also posting stuff like, oh, well, I told him to lose weight. Of course you're going to get dragged. Like, yeah,
but everybody's not Billy Santoro. So
I know,
like,
but
a lot of these girls are not. I feel like that's a more extreme case of a person.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, but yeah.
I like the people that I've seen posting their pay stubs. I've not seen anything about them being like problematic or mean or anything. It's just kind of like, girl, but it's also like but on the other hand, it's like I get it, because it's just like if you have people constantly coming at you and they're like, "Ooh, ew, why do you do that? Like, that's so disgusting," or whatever, and then you're just like, "Well, look, sis, I'm paid. Like, this is what I'm making doing this, and what job am I gonna do that's gonna pay me this much?"
No, that's T.
I don't know many people making $5K a month.
I sure don't.
I surely do not. That would be nice. But anyway, yes, let's just hope that the girls don't get audited and they're on top of their taxes. Yes, carrying on. Moving forward. Game of Thrones. No, should we do Endgame? Let's do Endgame.
Okay.
The Hulk.
Yes, the Hulk.
That's the
a
only thing I
man.
have to say about this movie.
Gentrify this bussy because
Invade me.
Hulk
and
smash.
me.
End my game.
Right now. I want that dick. That what is it? That BGC?
Oh my god, you're so stupid.
Give me that big green cock.
Is the episode title just BGC now?
BGC. Give me that BGC. Yes.
I remember, oh man, the night we saw it was premiere night, and I literally was every time he came up on screen, I just
John and I looked at each other.
I just like my hands went out like what, and my
Yes.
jaw dropped, and I looked at Rakeem. I was like, "Is this? Am I watching porn right now?" Like,
I remember exactly what we said too, because it was so funny when he popped up. John and I immediately turned around and we looked like so John and I went to go see it with two friends of ours on Thursday night, and when it first came out, and we like look over, and John just said, "Do you?" And I said, "Yeah," and I said, and when we said, "We'll talk about it after," but yes, like because it was just like
when he had the glasses on, I was like, "Dad,
right."
And then when he took his shirt off, he was like, "Oh, this is gratuitous."
This
but
is gratuitous.
And what about it?
And what about it?"
Okay.
What is his OnlyFans? I would like to watch that.
OnlyFans.com/Hulk Smash.
Honestly, it just made me want Mark Ruffalo that much more.
Ugh, yes.
Like, Daddy, just I know Mark Ruffalo has like that calm, like unassuming demeanor that like just tells me that he has good dick.
It's like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, he's Bruce Banner.
He's like the guy who would like check in on you during sex and be like, "Are you okay? Is this good?"
And you're just like
No, he gives me like mad aggressive, but every once in a while he'll like stroke your hair and like then whisper like, "You good? You still good? Okay, I got you. Yeah, all right, let's get."
Nah, I got you. I'm dead.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. He's like that type like you try to close your legs and he like open your legs back up. Force them back open. Like,
Babe!
yes, he is.
You like, yes, Daddy Hulk.
But okay, but how was the movie? How was the movie? Aside, let's get back to the movie.
Right. There was a movie.
There was a whole 3-hour movie.
There was a movie around Hulk porn. It was like a 3-hour OnlyFans. But
bitch. First of all, me and Mark went to go see it together, and he said that before we went and saw it, he said that he felt like it didn't feel like it was 3 hours. I felt every hour.
Really?
What else did you feel?
That was all I felt.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, yeah, I did. I felt like especially that first hour to me, like it just kind of dragged. I was like, I got why they did it. They were building up a lot of stuff, but honestly, until they went back in time, I just was like,
I loved it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was great because I wasn't expecting that. Well, okay. I was kind of expecting that they would maybe try to get different Infinity Stones, but I wasn't expecting them to have. I thought that they did the time travel really well. Like, I thought that they did. Oh, also, okay, I'm going to wrap up Spider-Man Far From Home in this because the trailer came out literally like 5 minutes before we started recording. And like, now there's a multiverse, bitch. Like, that was amazing. I thought that, first of all, Captain America getting Thor's hammer, I might have evaporated.
I didn't understand.
Wait, bitch, wait. Let's go through the film. Let's not get to the end automatically.
Okay. So you want to ease it in?
Yeah. Like, the movie eased us in for a very long time. I was
okay.
Like, bitch, is it in yet?
Fine. Okay, it's fine. Okay, we'll go back to the beginning. Okay. Let's talk about.
I thought the way they killed Thanos was too quick.
Oh, that was amazing. I
didn't
loved
like it. I thought it was a dream at first because it happened so easily.
But that was the point because he wasn't trying to fight back. Like Thanos.
I just still wanted something more. I don't know. It just felt like I don't know. It felt so anticlimactic for me.
I thought it was great because it was like Thanos' whole thing was like he's not trying to just go out and like kill people to kill people. I think he was just kind of like he was done. Like he did what he was supposed to do and he was okay with dying. And then the second Thanos was just kind of pissed because he saw that the people were trying to undo it. So he was just like, now I'm going to kill everyone because you should have been grateful. But now I learned that y'all aren't going to be grateful. So I have to start over from scratch. So I thought the first one dying was really cool. And also like the way that they set up all the characters, like Thanos without the gauntlet can't be all those people. Like there's no way. So like in the comics he could have, but when Captain Marvel was like, when she goes and she's like, because you didn't have me, I thought that they were setting it up that Thanos was gonna like rock her shit, but that's not what happened at all. Like, the only sorry, keep going, Baze. I don't want to jump ahead too far because I'm excited.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Like they jumped 5 years. I didn't think they were gonna commit to that. I was actually a little surprised that they did. They committed to the 5 years. I guess we can go into the time travel part, right?
Did you like how they did that? Or
I did actually like that. Like I wanted it to be like I wanted it to be them going back in time and undoing everything. I did, but that would have been like wrapping it up too neatly. And I did appreciate that they kind of like committed to the judgment that they'd made. I was dead at them sending them two most non-essential Avengers to
Vormir,
to Vormir. I was like, that was funny to me, but I was also pissed because as much as I don't like Scarlett Johansson, I felt like she should have been the one to come back. Like fuck Hawkeye.
Agreed.
He's so useless compared to her.
First of all, Hawkeye is like, I'm mad that some people survive, so what I'm gonna do is go to other countries and murder people.
He went to Mexico and then Japan.
Like, I got that he was like murdering like crime gangs and stuff, but he can't murder the white supremacists that are here.
You know?
Like, okay, like
a word.
Like, and then on top of that, like, he gets to get his family back. No, like I was Black Widow dying pissed me off so much. I actually really liked Natasha in the movies, and they killed off the first Asian superhero that we've had. I mean, it's just like
and it was also just like she's like one of the few women.
Wait, who's Asian?
Scarlett Johansson.
I'm so mad at you.
I don't know why I thought
right by.
I don't know why I thought you meant the guy that Hawkeye killed. I don't know why. Like I thought you were talking about him.
No, I definitely meant Black Widow. Like,
stupid. You're stupid.
You're so stupid.
Yeah, I definitely felt like she was one of the only women now at this point. She's the only woman that's still left. Why is she not? Like, I wanted more Okoye. But I also was like, why is she dying? Like, Hawkeye is much more expendable than she is.
Imagine having a scene with all the female Avengers and then you being the first one and not being in it. I would have been pissed.
that actually pissed me off. I was just like, why is she not here?
I did like that scene when all the girls got together. That was really cool.
That's what I'm saying, though. But, like, imagine, like, you being the first female Avenger and not be in that shot. But, yes, it was good. John, what did you like?
I like that scene. I like when all the girls got together. I was screaming. I was like, yes. And
did you cry at any time too? Because
no.
Honestly, I didn't really like look over at you that much because I was just, other than Hulk, because I was just trying to like be absorbed in the movie.
No, I didn't cry. This is a very unpopular opinion, and I'm probably gonna get like dragged for this, but I don't really like Tony Stark.
Yeah,
me either. He's trash. He can go.
Okay.
Bye. No.
She thought she was different.
No.
I was like, everyone was so sad. I'm just like, okay,
straight
bye.
people were sad, girl. He's an asshole. Like,
he's kind of an asshole, right?
Like, you can go. Shuri can do what you can do and more. Bye bye. I was ready for it. What didn't take?
He has such a huge fan base, Robert Downey Jr., and I'm just like, something about you just gives me really creepy vibes, and I don't like it.
He did maybe the fact he did blackface.
It's probably the actual actor, Robert Downey Jr. is just kind of, there's something odd about him to me as well.
Yeah. Like he gave his whole speech when they first got together, and he ripped out his IV and was like, and then he fell to the ground. I was like, why are you being so stubborn? Like,
no, I got that. That actually makes sense to me.
That because Tony's also been like super, Like, that makes sense because, you know, like, Tony was always the one that was, like, affected the most with, like, PTSD and, like, the universe. Like, Iron Man 3 was about him getting over the whole New York thing. That made sense. It was just more, like, John, I'm glad you brought that up, though, because, Baze, did you see, like, Clark Keisha's tweaks? Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Father God tweets about, like, how they were using Thor's weight gain as, like,
No, I didn't, but that was so uncomfortable for me because I was also, so real quick, I was also sitting in front of, like, to put it gently, 4 niggers who would not shut the fuck up. And
was that gently?
yes, and they would not shut the fuck up. And they spent the entire movie, one of them thought he was a comedian, kept just shouting random shit. Like when Cap was old and was like sitting on that bench, he was like, "Is that Forrest Gump?" I was like, "Nigga, you are not funny. If you're gonna be loud, be funny or shut the fuck up."
Oh no!
It took everything in me not to cuss these people out. But yes, I don't even remember what the question was. Sorry, I got so mad again. What was the question?
Me either. What? I'm sorry, that took me out. Like, I'm gonna put this gently. I was sitting behind 4 niggers.
Listen, I was ready to get out the whip. Bitch, I was done.
Babe.
I was like, I came down here. I did not want this experience, okay? If I wanted this experience, I would have went to Magic Johnson Theater in Harlem. I came here for a quiet movie-going experience, and these niggas would not shut like, I don't mind, like, every once in a while, a comment. This nigga, every 5 seconds, was making some type of commentary. I was like, shut up. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Ooh, sorry. Go ahead. What was the question?
I really forgot, honestly. Like,
what did we like about it? Tony Stark? I don't know.
It was Tony being an asshole.
I cry. Oh yes, you were talking about the Thor thing. Yes, they kept making like fat jokes the entire movie.
Oh, I hated that,
and I didn't like it. It didn't feel like I got that they were trying to talk about his trauma and his being like this was so traumatic for him that he had this reaction. But it didn't feel like that. It felt like, haha, he's fat now. Look at this guy who's really hot. He's fat now.
Yeah, that was really weird.
That's exactly what it was. But everyone, like, and her tweets were good because they were talking about how Tony had weight loss, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, let's baby him, let's do this, blah 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 blah." And then Thor has a weight gain, and it's like, "Get over it, you fat bitch." And it's just kind of like they could have had this whole thing where, like, you know, it could have been like tying the weight to the depression and him like coming back at the end and fighting Thanos and still being powerful, like, while being big. And I think that would have been great because even in the last fight, like, they slimmed him down if you look, like, so it was just kind of, they had such a great, like, I actually loved what they did with a lot of characters. I thought Thor being fat was a great thing. I thought that the Hulk and Bruce Banner becoming whatever that is was great. Like, and it's just whatever. But other than that, though, I thought the movie itself was great. The time travel mechanics were like solid too.
Yeah, I definitely cried when Black Panther walked through the portal.
Woo, he looks so good too.
Yeah, I also cried when Tony died. Even though I don't like Tony, I still like it. The whole thing itself was sad. Like when Pepper was like, "It's okay, we're gonna be okay. You can let go.
You can
I was
rest."
Like, that like took me out. I was like, "Damn."
The "I love you 3000."
Oh my God, bitch, the tears.
Real thug nigga tears.
And then they ruined it because the guys behind me was like laughing at somebody who was sobbing. I was like, "Shut up!" Oh my God, that's still. Sorry. Yes. That was a very emotional scene for me, and I need to rewatch it because they ruined the fight scene for me because they were talking through it.
I'm sorry. We had such a good theater, so I'm so sorry you didn't.
It's okay. I should just start going in the mornings.
That's tea, actually. Shall we do Game of Thrones before we move on really quick?
We can do like a real quick thing. This last episode sucked. Brienne, first of all. What? Yes, it sucked. First of all, Brienne of Tarth crying in her house coat. In the snow? No. Yes. I don't see it. I don't buy it.
Agreed.
No. Brienne of Tarth is a bad bitch. Brienne of Tarth doesn't cry over no nigga.
Period.
What? That's not who she is. And at the end of the day, like, she wasn't going to go with him because obviously she still has to, like, sworn her loyalty to Sansa and Arya or whatever. But she would have understood where he was coming from. She's not going to be here begging him to stay. Like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense for her character. Dany is annoying as fuck. Like, I'm ready for her to just die.
As hell.
just ready for her to die. Gendry didn't know, he like really had Arya fucked up if he thought she was finna be some wife in some castle. Like, you, like, what? Do you?
I'm just
like,
glad she didn't say yes. If they said yes, I would have turned off the damn show. At least they understand Arya's character. Yeah.
Yes. And also, like, I just feel like they're like, I feel like, what's her name's turning around so quickly? Like, Daenerys, like, she went from such a likable character to such a dislikable character, but in such a short span of time. I feel like they're reaching a lot of plot points, and they're not like, it's not coming together. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're hitting all these emotional beats, but it's not like getting in between these beats is not good. Like, the dragon dying, it didn't make sense that they were so fucking high and they couldn't see this guy and his ships. It didn't make sense that these fucking, like, those tools are gigantic, and he hit that dragon 3 times. Like, with complete accuracy. Like, it didn't make sense that Tyrion was talking to Cersei on that thing. He was so fucking far from her. How the fuck did she hear? And he was talking gently. He wasn't even shouting.
Also, it didn't make sense because Cersei could have just killed everyone right there. Like,
Facts.
There was no reason why she, like, the whole time I was like,
and she would have. That's the kind of person that she is.
She would. I was like, so if she just, like, so there's like maybe 20 Unsullied there. Dany's sitting there, not on the dragon, and Tyrion's right. Yeah, actually, you know what? You're right. Game of Thrones this season has literally been like, if you think about it a lot, you'll not like it, because it's just like, and it's, you know what it is? It's the writing. Like, the actors are actually doing a great job.
No,
it's
definitely.
It's just the material that they're given. Like,
look at the material.
Exactly. You can be the judge of it, because it's literally kind of like, you're right. Even with the dragon thing, like, okay, was there a plan to go back to Dragonstone after the army of the dead was defeated? Because don't you think that if you left Dragonstone, that Cersei would then know that you left Dragonstone and then just set up an ambush there? Like
also, like, first, and also it just felt like so, like, meaningless. Like, at least, like, yes, like, the theme of Game of Thrones is that people die, and it sometimes happens in a meaningless way, but it didn't feel, like, satisfying in the way that it has in the past. It just felt like, oh, there's dragon's dead now. Okay. We're moving the plot along. Oh, black slave, she's dead. We've re-enslaved her. She's dead. Thanks. Bye. Danny's sad. She's
like,
gonna be
they could have used like extra episodes or something, just because it just feels like them saying we have 6 episodes is okay. But I'm okay with that. But it's like they fill it with like 20 minutes of them like drinking after the, like, we don't need to see that. Like,
drinking Starbucks at that.
I cannot believe.
When you guys told me that, I thought it was fake.
No, I thought it was fake too. The lack of professionalism is just—it's
too. Look at the material. You could be the judge of it.
It's just not good, and it's so sad that it's ending like this.
It's like they have 2 episodes.
It started off so strong. This show started off so strong. Those first few seasons like cannot be beat, and they're just showing that it's garbage.
I hate this. I hate to say this, but it's when they went off the books. I think part of it is I don't care about the book and any of that stuff, but I think part of it was they signed up to do an adaptation of the show because they were really excited about the source material. And then when they realized that, like, oh, now we have to like make this up too, they were just kind of like, fuck it. And I think they got upset with George because they were just like, he agreed to finish these books and we were just going to adapt the books, and they didn't adapt the books. So then now people are like, I feel like they just probably don't care and want to finish it. They want to make Confederate.
I mean, yeah,
last night they kind of did. Like, I don't
want them to touch anything related to black people after last night's episode.
Listen, I like the way, I'm okay with Miss Sandy dying, but girl, in chains. Also, and that's also what doesn't make sense, because Miss Sandy also is not just like, she would have taken Cersei and jumped too. Like, when Cersei grabbed her arm, there's no reason. She did say that
she's not a violent person. She's not from a violent people.
But don't you? Okay, I guess that's true. I just feel like in that moment, if you can just kill the queen, like, I would have just done it if I'm about to die anyway.
I would have preferred for her to just jump. I don't think that was in her character to grab Cersei, but I think it would have been amazing for her to, not amazing, but I think it would have been better if she had jumped herself. Because then at least she would have had some say in her own death. It was the fact that she just like they just killed her. Like and then it was like also how did they know that she had Missandei until she had her? Like how did they know she didn't just sink with the ships? It just was like a bunch of stuff that didn't make sense to me, and a lot of it just feels like it's put together very shoddily. Like they all they know is that they have to reach these beats. They have to make this thing happen, but there's no like real smooth like finesse at all to getting from point A to point B. It's just like here's a point, and it just doesn't make sense. They're not like sticking to characters' arcs. They're not sticking to the character's character. Like there's no like Brienne like just like really like is wild to me like that they had her like that, because Brienne is a fucking warrior. They had her looking like a World War II wife sending her husband off to war. Like it just didn't make sense at all.
I agree. And it's like sad because I loved the second episode and I liked the first one, and it's just like all the big moments. I feel like it's just like the moment we started getting payoff for things, it doesn't feel like we've earned it almost.
Yeah.
The more it's funny though, because the one thing I will say is the moment this episode started, I was kind of glad they like killed the Night King early, because I realized that like I don't care. Like, but I feel like maybe I don't care because the show hasn't done a good job of like making me like want to care. Like, because it's just kind of like, I feel like Hodor did all of that stuff and holding the door just for Bran to go and sit and look at the Night King. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing else that's going to come of that. Like, that's what we've been. I mean, I feel like all it takes is a 5-minute scene of him just talking or something, or just explaining it. Like, we know what the Night King wanted and all that stuff, but it's like we know nothing else, and it's just like it feels super unsatisfying for these things that have been building up like for years, and that's all. But whatever. Yeah. It looks good, and like I'm just gonna stop being super critical of it, because if I am, like, I can't enjoy the show. So.
Yeah. I just didn't enjoy this last episode. The last week's episode was, I thought there were so many great things about it. Obviously, there were a lot of issues with that one as well. But at least that one, like, I enjoyed that one. I didn't even enjoy, like, this wasn't even like a hate watch type of situation. It wasn't even like it was bad, but I still like enjoyed it. It wasn't even like it was like last season. I said last season was like eating not McDonald's, because I don't eat McDonald's, but like it was like eating Chick-fil-A. It's not good for you. They support homophobes, but it tastes good. You know what I mean? Like, it hits the spot. And this episode didn't feel like that at all. It didn't hit the spot. It didn't taste good. I felt like I just ate a bunch of junk food, and it wasn't even worth it. Because it didn't even taste good. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap up the minutes of the Keller. And we'll be back with the discourse. And
woo.
That's right. We back with the discourse. I'm so mad actually, because I'm like, I feel like I did a really funny accent last week, and now I can't remember. We gotta find that.
That's just your voice.
Wait.
Okay. What?
Before we get into our discourse, I just want to say Happy Asian Pacific Heritage Month, and also Happy Nurses Week for nurses and future nurses. So those are
Happy Nurses Week.
2 of my different cultures in one.
Nurse culture. I love it.
Nursing is a culture.
Actually, I do believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So this week's discourse is about problematic friends. Do you have problematic friends? Have you had a problematic friend? And how did you curb that? Or if you did at all?
I'll go first because I feel like I'm going to be the shortest, like really short this week.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of friends. Like, I have y'all, and I have a few friends that I hang out with, but none of y'all are really like super problematic. And most of sometimes I feel like kind of like okay, this is going to sound really bad, but sometimes I kind of feel like a sociopath because I'm able to cut people off like very easily, and like it doesn't bother me as much. Like, maybe just because I like to be home, or like just like to be all by myself because I normally don't get to do that a lot if I'm like just leisure time. So like I'll cut problematic friends off like really easily, or I'll like address the issue with them when it comes to like them saying something really like, John, remember my last birthday party? So
Yeah.
Yep. And
That was more than a friend.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
like,
I'll
oops,
cut.
sorry.
Like, oh no, that's fine. You could.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm not dating them anymore. So, like, I broke up with someone because they said some stupid shit to John. So, like, I will do it.
Oh.
And no, for real. Like, and like the whole night he was like, "Oh my god, I don't get what I'm supposed to do." Like, nothing. You dumb bitch. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of really it for me. I mean, I don't really have issues with that. Like, I feel like that's probably more you too. So I'm going to be the John of this, and I'm going to mostly listen, and I'll let y'all go.
Ooh. Well, okay. So, I mean, not just aside from listening, Rakim, I think my most recent situation. So, one, I do have some problematic friends, and I think I don't know they're problematic because they're ignorant. Is that the word? They just don't know any better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not like they're trying to be harmful. They don't know. So my current situation is that I have a friend who is a Caucasian, and they like to do looks and turn looks and do drag sometimes, and or you know our version or their version of drag. And so recently, we talk about looks and what we're gonna do, and they told me that they're gonna put their next look. They want to wear like a 70s look and wear a big fro and some big hoop earrings. And I guess for folks who don't know, I'm trying to put this lightly. I don't know. I guess for some person will just look at that and be like, okay, that's a look. But some people will know that there is some meaning behind this, and not everyone should be doing this, or no one else should be doing this actually. And so I had to let my friend, and I consulted with you guys, like, how do I let this person know without being insensitive or mean? And so I just wrote them, like, I don't think this is a good idea. And they didn't respond back to me yet. Yeah. And it's been like a full, I don't know when I sent that text. It's been a full 24 hours, I guess.
Is this one that I've met?
I don't think you've met them, and I'm
Okay.
kind of afraid. I'm afraid if you do.
Oh yeah, because I would let them know.
Yeah,
immediately.
you would.
But that's why I was, and I got that vibe low key. I don't know why I got that vibe because you didn't give me a lot of information, but I got that vibe when you were texting me about it, and we were texting the group chat about it, and I was like, this sounds like somebody you should just let. Like some people, you just got to let them get dragged because because they won't hear it from anybody else, so they need to have people be mean to them. And, you know, of course, later on, he'll cry about it and say, oh, why didn't somebody tell me? But, you know, whatever.
Right, and that's why I want to be that person to be that, so you don't have that situation about why didn't anybody tell you. And so, and like another situation, the same person was doing another
Ooh,
look.
girl, throw them away. Throw them away. Too many things.
Same person wore a Native American headdress. And I was like, hey, and they posted it on their story, and I was like, hey, you should take this down, and you should. And they were like, why? And I was like, it's just not appropriate, and it's kind of like offensive to some people's cultures. And it was like, well, I didn't mean it that way, and blah blah blah. And I was just trying to do like a call in, you know. I'm not gonna cut someone off, but maybe this person just doesn't have any friends to tell. And you know what? Now that I think about it, most of their other friends are white. And so this person probably doesn't have a lot of people to tell them that that's not okay. So I don't know. I guess I'm not the cut off right away type. I think, you know, I think there's some opportunity to learn, because I've messed up a lot of times, and someone had to tell me like, hey, that's not cool. And I appreciated that. And so I want to do the same for someone else, but also like, I don't know how much I'm going to have to keep doing this. And, but yeah, that's my problematic friend. And I think to handle it, I want to call them in a manner to where it's not like, because we have a learning curve. Everyone is still learning, you know. And I think this person is still learning. This person was like, I don't know. I'm trying not to make excuses, but this person was like private school. They don't have a lot of friends, and you know how I get. I'm just like, take someone.
You're a very patient person.
I'm like, so take someone under my wing. I'm like, you're a baby. You're still learning. Let me help you. So yeah, I don't know. That's just how I deal with it. Bays.
Well, I'm not like that at all. So let's start there. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing where, so that's also why I had a hard time like getting to interact with white gay people, because I was just like, I couldn't get past that. I've talked about this, like I just couldn't get past the like, I just met you and you're already saying fucked up shit to me. About me, about like Asian people, about Latinos, like you saying something about somebody. So that was hard for me, but I've like since now made more white friends, and I don't know if I'm just like lucky, because the white people that I consider that I would call my friends, they're not the kind of people that would say a lot of the things that are even do
put on an afro.
About. and if they were that kind of person, they're also not the kind of people that I couldn't just immediately be like, sis. But that's also my personality. Like, I'm just gonna be like, sis, I don't know about that one. Like, I'll just like point out, I'll just like flat out say it, like, sis, I don't know about that. That's not it for me. So I don't really have problems with that. Like, I do find it a little bit harder, like, I mean, we talked about this in the communication episode. Like, I do feel like it's a little bit harder to communicate with people that you actually care about sometimes, because you don't want to hurt them. That you're a little bit more invested in that relationship, and so you don't want to hurt their feelings.
And there's a little more at risk, right? This is someone that you have built a relationship with.
Yeah.
And you don't want to risk, like, messing that up.
Exactly. But that being said, like, I'm also not going to, like, coddle. Yeah, exactly. Like, if, like, somebody says something, I'm going to be like, And it might not even be, like, a, bitch, shut up, that's stupid. It might just be, like, a pushing back gently, like, oh, so, you know, I don't know about that. I think this, and this. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a moment. It just could be like, oh, I disagree with what you're saying because I think this, and this. I definitely don't have any friends that, well, I don't know if I have any. I don't know. Opportunity hasn't arisen for them to be wearing any kind of wigs really so far. So I don't know. I have to wait and see if one of them thinks that afro is a good idea. But I'm also like, don't think an afro is that bad, but I just think it's just in poor taste. That's all.
Well, I had like, yeah, right. And that's what I had to be very specific. I was like, do you mean like a Jufro? Like very curly? Or like, do you mean like a literal afro? And I had to be like, and also this thing, like, looks are expensive. And so I just tried to I was like, did you already buy this wig? Because if you did, I would suggest maybe like returning it, or
yeah,
I don't think this is something that you should be wearing at all. But yeah, I don't know. I think, well, I'm trying to think of other problematic situations.
See, but that's why stuff like that, I try not, like, okay, stuff like that is like, it's just like, how do y'all like reconcile that? Like, do you just look at them afterwards after you've gone through all this explaining, and then it's just like, to me, I would just think, okay, now think in the back of my head, you thought that it was okay to like do these kind of things, and so that would just kind of me be like, ugh, like, but I also, Baze, like, one thing you said too, like, you didn't think it was like that bad. That's also interesting to me, because I think that like what's considered problematic is so different to so many people. That's why that's why this conversation is so complicated, because it's like, what do people consider that? Because it's like, we're all bad people to someone. So
right.
Like,
and that's why I consulted with you guys first with this situation. I'm like, is this even something I should be saying at all? Like, is this what do I do? Because
it depends. Like, it
makes
like, a lot of this stuff depends on like what I think part of it is just like, I think here we're talking about friends that we like want to keep as friends. And so in that kind of situation, then like, yeah, you should probably definitely like say something or whatever. Because I think like if like I said something, or like if you said something, or if Bae said something, like we would all take the time to be like, okay, girl. And we've done that too. Like sometimes like I remember like, you know, we've talked about sometimes maybe one of us like apologizing on the show. I know we've talked about privately. We've talked about things. So it's kind of like we confront each other. But a lot of the times it's like, I feel like the people that say they're problematic things at this point in my life are like acquaintances or people that I just kind of see. So I'm just like, oh, okay, I don't even really need to like roll with you like that. So,
but I feel like, sorry.
No, I'm done.
Well, I feel like there's also like one thing that I come across a lot, especially like with like white people that I talk to, and their racist or whatever friends. It's a lot of people that people keep around because they've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's not necessarily like new friends. It's just people that you've known each other for so long that while you guys are in different places, like mindset wise and like politics wise, you still have that connection with each other because you guys know each other so well. But I'm also like I'm also not above kicking people out. Like I talked about this. Like I had a best friend who was really like my best friend since like 6th, 7th grade, and she let a guy that she was seeing call me a faggot, and I was like, okay, well, I'm actually okay. Thank you. Next.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just don't have time for that. Like, I'm just like, if you're, and she didn't, and the gag is that she told me about it. I wasn't even there. He was doing it when I wasn't there. But it was just like, you telling me about this, and you not defending me, and you still interacting with them. So to me, that tells me you don't value me as a friend. And if you've shown me that you don't care enough about me as a friend to overcome your problematic beliefs or whatever, then we just don't see things the same way, and we don't need to be a part of each other's lives. Just as simple as that.
That's really it. And sometimes like that's okay. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't hate her. I'm just like, we just not gonna be friends anymore. I'll see, if we run into each other every once in a while, that's cute. But I'm not gonna keep people in my life just because we've been friends for a long time. Not if I feel like you're being detrimental to my mental well-being.
That's on period.
Well-being. And so I didn't make any big declaration. I just distanced myself from her.
Yeah, I fully agree.
So I don't necessarily feel like a need to like, it just depends. Like if I feel like if we're close enough, I think when I let people get that close to me, it's because they're good people generally. And I don't think that I let people get close to me that say certain things or like would wear certain things, not necessarily, not that I'm like above that. So it could happen, it just hasn't as of yet.
Right. And that's the thing. Like this person, like, for example, the same person is like a little sister to me. And so like everything is cool, until it came to like the look thing. And I'm just like, okay, what, all the other areas in your life were fine. This person is trying to improve. And so it's just certain areas like I can't look past and I have to say something. And I'm just like, I don't know. This isn't like cut off territory yet. We're not there yet. And I don't plan on being there, and I hope we don't get there because I don't want that for any of my friends. But, I just don't know the criteria of when I should do that.
I think when you're just tired, when you've had enough, you'll know.
Enough. J-Lo. Okay.
But you also have like, again, you also have more patience. There's situations we've talked about with certain people that you've had enough, but you haven't had enough. I've had enough, but you haven't had quite enough yet. And I don't know, and there's situations where I don't know. I think it's different because I'm not someone who's very patient, and I don't put up with a lot of stuff from people. So I think that we're very different people in that regard, and I don't know. I think I'm a big fan of just letting people do what they do. So I hopefully you'll know when you have enough and you won't let them continue to like have you doing all this emotional labor for them. Mm-hmm. If they continue to, make that an issue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, problematic friends.
Yeah, that was a short discussion.
I just think everyone's like, I don't give a fuck. I'll cut them off. Like,
I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I don't know why. I mean, I wrote this down and I thought maybe it might be a little bit more of a difficult topic, but I think it would be more difficult if we had like, I mean, I feel like John does. I don't know that you do, Rakeem, and I definitely don't anymore, but I feel like John has friends that he's been friends with for a long time, and some of them are problematic. And
Right.
I just don't talk to them anymore. It's just like, it's like, honestly, like the older that I get, like, not that I'm older or anything like that, but the older that I get, like, I just don't care. And it's like, it used to scare me at first, like, because I just don't care about like a lot of stuff. And like, I think a lot of stuff is like really trivial because like at this point in my life, I'm really concerned with like trying to make the best work possible and make something of myself and make some money finally. And it's just like a lot of that stuff is just like distractions. Like I don't care about like who posted what on Instagram and like who did what or who like is fucking who, like who cares? And so like when someone comes in and they say something like blatantly problematic and I don't already have that like system set up with you, where's the time I'm going to take to fix it? Like, you know, like when I have alone time, I just want to sit and I'm tired. I don't have time to do all that stuff. So no, they can go. Like the internet's full of people that can educate you. I don't need to be it.
I just have like a lot of, okay, so another situation. I have a lot of straight friends and
That's unfortunate.
I know. And so a lot of them aren't really aware about what our culture is. Like I feel like I am that person for them, you know, like the first contact of a queer person or a gay person or whatever. And so I try to be there for my friends during their milestones. And a lot of these milestones are problematic when like I get invited to your baby's gender reveal party or I get invited to your wedding, which you all know I go to a bunch of weddings and like it's a religious wedding and the officiant is up there saying marriage is between a man or a woman. And I have to sit there and like have this microaggression because like I love you as a friend and I want to be there for you in this in this very important time in your life for your baby or for your wedding. But like, am I supposed to say something when this is like bothering me? I don't know. Or like, should I even go? It's just kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I just think you're being selfless, which is great, but
it's
like
problematic. Like the thing that like I'm glad you want me to be here, but I think it's also selfish that you're not considering how this could be, and like hurting me as a person, you know.
But they are being selfish, so like you should be selfish too, like and be like don't like only be selfish with people who have made it clear that they aren't trying to consider you. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you're not there, like a priority. Like on someone's wedding, if they're thinking like they're not going to think, like if this is straight people getting married and their preacher's going to say that, they probably either low key believe that themselves or there are people that are going to be there that they don't want to offend, so they care about that more than about your feelings. Like, right. I had a family member get married, and I didn't go because it's like I'm the only person in the family that didn't go because there were a lot of people that were there that told me that like I was going to, you know, that like they don't agree with my lifestyle or they feel like I'm going to burn in hell or something like that. So I didn't go to the wedding. And they're just like, God. Well, why didn't Rakeem go? Like, what? Because you spent my entire life telling me that I'm going to burn in hell. So no, I don't have time for you. Like you had 27 years to not be an asshole. Like not being problematic. Like when people say not be problematic, all we're really saying is don't be racist, don't be transphobic, and don't be homophobic. Everything else or most things we could talk about. Those are 3 things. And if you can't do those, then there's no conversation. I don't got to teach you to be a decent person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, it's basic decency, it's common decency is all anyone's asking for, and it's like, yeah, we're all problematic at the end of the day. We all say problematic things, but like at the core of our beings, we're good people, and we like care about people, and we care about being inclusive. Mm-hmm. And when you have someone who doesn't care about those things, that really shows up, and I think that's also why it's hard for me to be like, oh well, I would never cut this person off, because I feel like it shows when someone's not a good person. It shows. Mm-hmm. It shows really quickly. It shows up pretty much immediately. You can see when they don't give a fuck about people. And it reminds me I had this conversation. I first followed this guy on Twitter, of course. It was a mistake. He immediately starts talking about how his best friend or whatever, or not his best friend, but like his friend was being transphobic and was making fun of this trans woman that was in they were at a bar or something, and this trans woman came in and he was making fun of her apparently. And I guess the friend was like, oh, do you think she's a man or a woman or whatever? And he was like, I think she's a woman. And that was his tweet thread that I was like, I don't know why you shared this with anybody, but whatever. And I responded and I was like, oh, sounds like an ex-friend to me. And he responded and was like, I'm not like you social justice warriors here on the internet. Like, I'm not going to just throw people away because blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, but you're sitting here telling me how he's making fun of this trans woman for existing. And that's your friend, which tells me something about you.
Yeah.
Because not only did you not even really say anything, you're telling us the internet about how you and it was like as if he had done something brave by saying, I think she's a woman, while he let his friend disrespect this woman. I'm just like, I unfollowed him immediately. I was like, I didn't even respond. I just was like, okay, bye. Like, there's no, like, because and that's another thing is like, when you have your problematic friends and you don't say nothing to them, that reflects on you. Well, that day when me, John, and we were out in Silver Lake, and that person brought their white friend around us.
Oh God, that night.
I like that person seemed nice. I like them. I'm definitely like there's still some side eye because that's the kind of person you have around you. You have a kind of white friend who would go around saying transphobic things, and then on top of that, to top it all off, go outside and try to play victim, and try to play white victim to the bullshit. When you the one who's did something fucked up. You did something fucked up, and then you try to cry about it and try to make yourself the victim. And now, I'm not only looking at you crazy, I'm looking at the person who thought it was a good idea to bring you around me crazy. Yeah. Because that's one thing I say. Y'all, like, you know, and I'm very careful about, like, bringing my white friends around people. I definitely don't just be bringing them around immediately. I, like, vet them and fill them out. And they can still say something problematic. It's like nobody's above any of this. But it's just like, I like know like at your core, you're a good person. And I know that you make the effort and you listen. Right?
Yeah.
So I know that when we go out, if you embarrass me, you're going to apologize for it. But some people just be bringing their whites around any old body. And then now I'm looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm looking at you like there's something wrong with you because you let this person be around me right now. And furthermore, did not check them immediately.
Yep. And that's why I had to break up with my ex when that thing when that happened to John. I said, "Well, that's the end of this relationship."
and that's you know, and that was a whole relationship. And a lot of people won't do that. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
That was my reaction. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
No, that was my reaction to my friend who was not white. I was like, "This is your friend. I would expect you to like talk to them about this." And I'm surprised it took me, you know, like I'm not even their friend. I just met them tonight, and I'm surprised. And so background for everyone listening, I asked this person what their pronouns were, and this guy said, well, obviously it's he, him. I have a penis. And I was like,
yikes.
I didn't ask about your, you know, private parts. I just asked what your pronouns were. And it got really ugly from there. And thankfully Baze and my other friends were there because I was heated. But also I was like, my version of heated was trying to be nice and like tell my friend, like, you need to talk to your friend because
he almost got cussed out. Both of them, actually.
Because my other friend is also non-binary too. And I was like, how does this person not know about pronouns when they're your friend? So I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know they were non-binary. So never mind. They shouldn't have gotten cussed out by me because that's not my identity. But their friend would have got cussed out. And I'm still side-eyeing that.
You know, just between like me and them too. Like, hey, you know, as you know, people walking around like us, like this is kind of, you know, we have to be a little cautious about who we keep around because this is important, at least to me. But maybe it's not as important to you, but it is to me. And you know, for you to have this friend around kind of like makes me a little sad about you. And I don't want to think that way about you, but I kind of have to now because your friend is like totally dismissive of a whole community.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
all right. Problematic friends.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that we don't have a time for a letter because Miss Jean has to go to work.
Everybody here
But
got to go to work.
Everybody got to go to work. Yeah. So. Outro.
Yeah. So
Or do you have an announcement?
Did I already said the. Oh, well, the Out Magazine, I said it last week, but then the episode didn't happen. So thank you to Out Magazine for the feature and the interview. That was kind of like insane and crazy. And like, I'm still like, what just happened? Also, I'm going to be doing a 1-day installation and a pop-up called Fruitcake. That I'm going to be doing on Saturday, June 1st, which is going to be in downtown LA. And I think there's going to be around like 45 or so like local, like queer, like people that do, like art or like graphic
Vendors?
design or vendor. Thank you, God. But I'm going to be doing an installation like inside of the room. There's going to be vendors outside, and then I'm going to be inside. That's going to have like a whole room and installation. So come to check that out, and that will be on Saturday, June 1st. And other than that, I think that's it this week. I think that's all I can announce this week. Yeah.
That's all I can. That's all
That's
I'm
all I
allowed
can
to
announce.
say right now.
That's all I'm releasing this week.
Yeah.
There'll be more next week. Stay tuned.
Later. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Booked and busy.
Do y'all have anything?
No, girl, you know I ain't got it.
Yeah, no, we're good.
I don't know
I
that.
have a roof. I have a roof over my head. I have that.
That's tea, actually. John, didn't you like make pins?
Oh my God! Yes.
See?
Thank you. Well, okay, so I don't have them in stock for me personally, but if you want to get them from, so Campaign Proper and Gay Pin Guys, that's at Gay Pin Guys, exactly how it's spelled. We collaborated and made some pronoun pins because, yeah, pronouns are important. So you can go purchase it through them, and then I'm waiting to get some stock on my own, and in that way, if you purchase from me, I'm going to donate most of my portions to a local queer nonprofit. So, yeah.
Well, that's amazing as always. And the pins are actually dope. And they're like the color of the like people of color LGBTQ flag, right?
Yes, exactly. Because we want to keep it inclusive.
I'm going to be getting several. So,
Thank you.
Okay, what's crazy is it's like about to rain outside. That's insane. So anyway,
And it's sunny here. That's crazy.
like it's about to drizzle. So with that, we'll conclude this week's episode of Podcast of Color. You can find us on Twitter at Trash of Color and everywhere else at Podcast of Color. Again, when you're searching the show, it's POC. The title of the show is POC. And we're on Spotify now. So search POC. We're on Spotify, and you can get us wherever you listen to your podcast. And with that, we will see y'all next week.
Renee Bays, Rakim John, 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 Renee Bays,